Hey guys, have you guys ever seen the mangrove charcoal? In today's video, I'm gonna introduce for you guys about these bad boys, alright? And this is one really old industry in Vietnam. People been producing these things for more than 100 years. The mangrove charcoal is mainly from two provinces of Vietnam. One is the province of Cà Mau, and the second one is the province of Hậu Giang. There's also another province named Sóc Trăng, and all of them is really near to each other. All of them is in the western part of Vietnam, where we have a lot of abundant fruit. All right. For any of you who just came to the channel, my name is Paul. Welcome to Physical Trader. We have a charcoal trading business named Earthange. We're focusing on providing you with the charcoal from Vietnam, Laos, or Cambodia as the highest quality, so that you could worry less about growing your import pieces, your charcoal business to millions of dollars without worry about being scammed, without worry about the quality, without worry about we overpromise you anything, because we care about being an honest business partner and want to do business with you for the next 10, 20, 30 years. We don't want to scam you and just take your money and run away. We want to do business with you long term. So the first things about this bad boy is what you need to know and what you need to be really careful when purchases. So the first thing that you need to know is that this charcoal is having some grade called the uncarbonized grade, which means that this charcoal, when they put it into the kilns, right, there's many layers of the kilns, and if that charcoal is on the outside layer, the heat of the heating process not going to be able to get covered inside that charcoal on the outside layer, because it interacts directly with the air. There's no charcoal around it, there's no wood around it in order to holding back the heat. And from that process, it's created charcoal that having a wooden color, and that color gonna surely, if you burn the charcoal, if that charcoal having the wooden color inside of the middle part, surely that charcoal gonna having the odor, the smell of have a lot of smoke, have a lot of smell when you burn it. It's not gonna be ideal for you to selling this charcoal if it's uncarbonized. So the best way for you as an unexperienced people to test it is that you breaking the charcoal in half. All right, and after you break it in half, you can see inside the charcoal. If it's fully carbonized, which means that fully black, you can see the flexing or carbon color, then this charcoal is already good for you to use it, and it's not going to producing smoke, not going to producing a bad smell. All right, so be really carefully about this bad boy when you purchase this, because if it's uncarbonized, I assure you that it's not going to be something that you wanted. Right, next is about the broken pieces. If they adding a bunch of broken pieces of charcoal inside, example, if you purchase these things and they not mention to you that they're gonna put inside these crumble broken charcoal, then you are being lied about in the process of purchase these things with that manufacturer, with that exporter, with that supplier, because you're not supposed to be receive these things. All right, these things is for the different need, and it's for low quality need, and usually it's going to be sold in the domestic market. Next, I'm going to talk about the sizing. What could you require in the sizing of these charcoal, of this mangrove charcoal? What could you specify with it? All right, there's two ways of packaging these things that people export like 100 containers every single month. Is one that they put it in the bag. I'm gonna leave the picture over there so that you can see what is the bag look like. the 30 kilogram bags or the 29.5 bags or less than that quantity. But usually people are gonna put in the bag and then cut the charcoal in half. All right, this is already cut it at a beautiful size, and then they put it at inside the bag. It's gonna look really nicely when it's delivered to the client. Secondly, people could cut it to the size and put it to the box. It's still the same process. We getting the charcoal, we cut it in half, and then after cutting in half, we put into the boxes. And this could be your name, it could be whatever name you want. This could be the bag also. You could design your bag, and then we're gonna stuff these things in and make sure it's at the right quality. Yes, so which means that you could cut it in half. You know, you could cut it over there. You could cut it in smaller pieces in size, you know, to packaging into the box or the bags. Next, I'm gonna talk about the way for us to transport these things safely, because the mangrove charcoal is any charcoal in the world is one of really sensitive product. It could burn anytime on the boat. So the best way for you to scare that you're not gonna have to get into the head of this charcoal burning in your container is that you need to at least after you cut this charcoal, you need to leave it outside, not in the container, not in the container and put into the sea yet. You need to leave it on your yard, inside your bag, your box, doesn't matter, and leave it there for 2 days. Because in the process of you cutting this charcoal, the fire from the process of cutting it could make the charcoal ignite. And even though it's really small inside of the charcoal or inside of this part in the crack, you couldn't see it. And from that, it's gonna create a circumstance where this small spark could burn the whole bag, and then from that whole bag burn to the next bag, and then make the disaster. All right, you have to deal with that. We don't want that to happen. So at Earthange.com, we are here to make sure that you don't have to deal with this bullshit problems, because it's preventable. All right, so that's about the transportations. Let's talk about the pricing of this bad boy. Right now, price of this is really high. You know, it's not as good right now. It's ranging from $640 per tons if you deliver to a market like Taiwan, up to $680. It really depends on the timing, but at the time that I'm talking and speaking right now, it's having that price, and it's the highest in the history of this charcoal. Why is that happen? Well, the government of Vietnam, they just combine many provinces together and make it to one province. They took 1, 2, 3 provinces and make it to one province, and changing a lot of people in charge of the position of logging, of environment, of many other departments. And from that, it's creating a scenario where these bad boy, where the mangrove tree were logging for many years. People harvest these mangrove. Usually they're gonna harvest it at May of every single years. Right now, the logging regulations push it far back to September, and because of that, you know, it's been delaying the logging, the cutting, the harvest of the mangrove tree for already nearly 2 to 3 months, and it's gonna be last another 2 months. So it's not a ideally good scenario, because it make the mangrove wood into a shortage, and from that shortage, it creates a high demand. It's create a high, the demand still the same, but it create a shortage in the supply of this wood, and from that, the kills cannot purchase the wood. The wood price go hiking up, because this bad boy, it took at least around 45 to 2 months in order for these things to come out from the kills at the finished products, and then you could put it to the bag. All right, it's take at least 2 months of the production times, and from that it's create a really fluctuating situations where the pricing is going up and down every single day. So if you purchase this bad boy from Vietnam right now, it's not the best times because the price is really high. But if you're waiting till maybe November, maybe September of this month, of this year, or December, the price is going to be much better because the logging regulations, the harvest time regulations of the mangrove charcoal have changed, of the mangrove wood have changed, and it's gonna affecting this. It's gonna make this situation get worse at least till that times where we could at least harvest the charcoal, because mangrove tree is classified as the not natural jungle wood in Vietnam, and it's need to be advised by the government for people to have at least logging it, have at least cutting it. So that reason why we're having this circumstance right now. So I already covered how could you transport it, what you need to be noticed about this bad boy in the grading. Make sure that you don't getting any broken pieces, like small pieces that I just show you, or the uncarbonized charcoal. Make sure that you know that the supplier of yours is doing properly prepare before stuff this charcoal into the container, so that you don't have to dealing with burning 1,000 containers on the boat. And also make sure that you don't make sure that you knowing when to purchase, when to make decisions, because the charcoal gonna having a really high price and low price depend on the seasons, on the date, on the months. So if based on the new logging regulations, it's changed to September and every month you need to prepare for the shortage of the pricings in a couple months in advance, so that you don't have to be dealing with the price shock and still get advantage from speculating the market of charcoal. I'm not expert in that, all right? You guys should be the expert in that. I'm not the expert in the pricing. I don't know about the future. I just using this information as my guess that what could happen. And yeah, if you want to purchase this charcoal right now by container without worry about getting scammed, you feel free to contact us at earthange.com. All right. Any questions? Just let me know. Just comment below, and or just text me directly. I'm gonna answer real quick for you. Ciao. Bye.